Welcome back, everyone. Quest for You is on. I'm Janine. Thank you so much for joining my podcast. And it is episode 146. And if this is your first episode, if you haven't listened to any of the others, do not worry. You don't have to catch up. In fact, I'm happy if you just join here because my earlier episodes are not that good. I still have a ways to go, but I definitely feel I have improved. So that's one reason. But the other one is you really don't need to go back. The topics are independent of each other, bites of motivation, inspiration, and you can just go back when you have some time. You have a long car ride ahead of you, or maybe you're just at home with nothing to do. You can catch up later. So that's what I'm trying to say. So don't worry about catching up in order to move forward. You can just jump in at any point. A Man Called Ove. And if that sounds familiar, then there's probably a reason. Because there's a book that I just finished with the same title. And I love a good novel. But in order to be good, it needs to meet certain criteria. Because novels are works of fiction, meant to entertain. And often, this entertainment is hollow, superficial, or too complex and unnecessarily confusing. And I know everyone has different expectations. For me, I need more than an entertaining narrative. I want to get lost in another story that could be my own. I need to meet the characters. I want to see them and get to know them. Their bright sides, along with their flaws, their struggles and their sins. I want to understand who they are, what makes them tick, and why are they this way. I don't need all the details, but enough to know if they could be my friends. I want to be included in their lives. Enough, and just for the key moments, so I can feel welcome in the plot. And when I tell my friends about them, I want to be able to describe them with enough vibrancy. I want to learn about their life, not every detail, but I want to get a glimpse of the world and the time they live in. I want to be able to recognize the space they inhabit, should I ever decide to visit them. Whether it's the house they live in or their neighborhood, the time in history or the path they traveled, I need a sense of place in the novel. This could be through historic events, places around the world, a type of lifestyle, or a way of living. Any and all of these give me orientation and allow me to place the characters into context. And lastly, I want to be able to relate to them. This is the most important aspect for me. Their thoughts, their conversations, their experiences, which include hardships and joyful moments. I want to understand what it is that makes them happy and sad. And then I want to be there, with them, right there, smiling with them at the amusing moments they have, my eyes watering and my stomach twisting when their life takes a sad turn, my heart beating faster because something unexpected is about to happen. I want to feel what they feel when words are spoken or thoughts are expressed that resonate with me because I've heard them before, thought them before, seen the expressions on other people's faces, felt the pain, the anguish, myself even. And most of all, when feelings that are just words, written in the pages in front of me, evoke a sensation that brings me into the story even closer. Then I know I'm reading a good novel. When I lose myself in a story that is not mine, with people I don't know and lives I have not lived, only to suddenly find myself to be part of it. Such a novel brings me home. Not my own home, but an alternate home. A different life that, for a few hours, becomes an alternative to my own. Another reality. Fictitious, maybe even magic and unbelievable, but real for me while I'm in it, and many moments longer after I finish. Still there, lingering in my mind, as if I just came back from a long trip, where I met incredible people, saw amazing sights, and experienced lives that impacted my own in an unforgetting way. I realize It's a big task for the author to create such art, to meet these expectations, but it's possible. I have my favorites. You know some of them because I use the author's quotes to set the tone for many of my episodes. And A Man Called Ove is such a novel. It draws you in, slowly, into a plot that seems so insignificant, so uninteresting in the grand scheme of things. But that is why I fell in love with it. For me, just like with human love, I don't need extravagant places, colorful characters and elaborate narratives. All I need is a simple life, like my own, like any other lived by the people in this world. An original life. A whimsical one, captivating in its own way, with characters I would never otherwise meet if it wasn't for the book. That is what Ove is, a simple man of a generation that I still remember. A man with characteristics that push the reader away, at least try to, because he's so stubborn and set in his ways, without a hint of emotion or even a smile, almost repellent to the reader. But as you become part of the story, just like in life, when you meet new people, their story becomes yours. And that's when you realize that there's more beyond the surface, an inkling that you get. As you are a fly on the wall, accompanying Ove throughout his day, from early morning to nighttime, a luxury you never have in real life, to become so private with the people in our life. In a story, in a good one, like this one, this is possible. When you see beyond the surface, and this is how the people in a good novel reveal themselves to you. A Man Called Ove takes you on a discovery of a life lived one way, and the seeming impossibility of changing that one way. A simple life that started from humble beginnings in a simple neighborhood that started with a few houses, filled with simple people that changed over the years. Yet, as it is in any life, filled with complexities that pose obstacles, cause drama, and bring up emotions we sometimes don't know what to do with. A Man Called Ove overcomes the greatest obstacle of all, and that is change. We often use the word adaptation. I feel incorrectly so. Adapting to new circumstances really means changing your approach, your perspective, and how you ultimately live. You don't just adapt. It doesn't end there. Adapting is followed by change. And Ove overcame the greatest obstacle. We all will face it many times in our lives. When you come to a point where you need to make a decision. When adapting alone is not enough, and you are left with two choices, giving up or moving forward, and Ove is caught in between. And what moved me most about this story is not Ove. Ove didn't magically transform into a different person. Ove met people that helped him see that change is possible. This is what moved me because it hits home. Our struggles are our own. The battles we fight, nobody will fight them for us. But if we open our eyes to the people around us, friends, strangers, even enemies, people that we judged before, and even if it's forced, such as in Ove's case, we will discover a light, no matter how small, in another human being. So, I encourage you, pick up a good novel. Maybe make Ove part of your life for a while, and discover what I realize every time. Determined to lose myself in some good work of fiction, tuning out of reality and getting away, that instead, I always end up finding more of myself, closer to reality than before, and with a deeper understanding of life. This is the magic of fiction. It's amazing. Much love. Talk to you next time.